Hello everybody, this is Amanda Cooper and I'm here downtown in the Vista at the Dragon Room with Mr. Kristian Niemi. He calls himself a serial restaurateur, correct?
I don't call myself anything. Hockey player, traveler, cook.
Cook, I love it.
Yeah.
You know, you're also a veteran. I
Correct,
did my
yes.
homework.
Yeah.
I was like, this man is very interesting. And I'm so happy to sit here and have coffee and conversation with you about your new restaurant.
Likewise.
Thank you for the tour.
I'm glad you showed up when you did, or
I know, I would have been out of luck, right?
Yes, you would have. Yeah, my schedule's a little crazy right now, and I don't write it down very well, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad I did. That's the benefit of being on time, to make sure you do get them. And when I was kind of learning more about who you were, several things popped up, and I think that a lot of people may not have even known. I think it's kind of a full circle moment for you, in my opinion, that you being here right around the corner from the Blue Marlin.
Yeah, a half a block away.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
you started, really, right? In Columbia.
Actually, so started at Garibaldi's when I first moved here in '93. Bartended there and got a call one day asking if I'd be interested in managing, and it turned out that they needed a manager at Longhorn, which Bill Dukes also owned at the time. And so I managed there briefly, and then they moved me over and I was the opening general manager at the Blue Marlin, which was a fantastic experience. Getting to, it was kind of at the beginning of what's turned out to be a long career, but at the time I had no idea it was going to be a career. But getting to see how a restaurant opened and all the things that went on with that gave me the ability to then leave there with my partners Harold and John and open up Mr. Friendly's and, you know, kind of half-ass know what we were doing.
It really was kind of that way, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And you were 22, if I'm not mistaken. Or
No.
around that time.
I was 28 or 29 at that time because I was out of the Army. I was out of college, so 28, I think.
28. Okay,
Yeah.
so you were really, that's where you're beginning. Mr. Friendly's was kind of like your launch into the restaurant world by yourself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had two partners, and so, but yeah, we bought that restaurant with Harold's dad helped us. Harold's mom and dad helped us. We bought that for a whopping sum of $38,000. Yeah, you can't buy restaurants that cheap nowadays. I spent more than that just on the hood for here. But and we just learned it as we went. I mean, that's why I always tell budding restaurant owners, people that want to be restaurant owners, like, just come to me with any questions you have, because I've literally made and continue to make every mistake there is to make in this business, and then learn from it. So if you don't come to me and ask me, you're missing out, because I've got a ton of information of all the stuff that you don't do or shouldn't do.
You got the mind.
I wouldn't say that. No, I've learned my lessons.
Yeah.
They were some expensive lessons that I learned, but it's all been great. I loved it.
And one thing that I enjoyed learning about you was that you told a story that when you were 5 or 6, that's when you realized the power of owning your own time and making $1.
Oh yeah, my
sell.
grandfather was a huge influence on me, because I pushed a broom in his print shop that he owned, and I remember him giving me a quarter, and I was like, the light just went off. I was just like, oh, I do things, I get money. And from that moment on, it was cleaning his shop, Kool-Aid stands. My cousin and I collected night crawlers and leeches for opening fishing weekend and sold them on the corner at the liquor store. Skipped school to do it, but made a fortune, doing stuff like that. It was just always, I mean, so when people use that term, serial entrepreneur, I guess so. And, I've always spent my life kind of looking for opportunities to maximize things that I like to do into some sort of profit, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what most people do. They don't have the courage.
Yeah,
Though. They
but
wish
I still can't retire. Like, when I said I made a lot of mistakes, trust
you made
me,
a lot
I made a lot of
mistakes.
mistakes. Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm sure entrepreneurs, or I shouldn't even call you that anymore. At this level in life, you are a business owner, a restaurant.
Yeah, but I would say that the entrepreneurial spirit never quite dies in somebody that, I don't feel it like that goes away. Like, every endeavor is like, even opening this after this many years, it's still a risk. You're taking a risk. You're throwing, you basically just won back all your chips, and then you're just pushing it all back out on the table again. Maybe each time being able to keep a few back for yourself, but really, it really is, you know, when you sign a bank note for, you know, high 6 figures, low 7 figures, you're basically pushing all your chips back on the table.
And did your travels in the military introduce you to all of these different things that you?
No, I never spent any time in Asia. I spent most of my time in the Middle East. So,
okay.
But just love it. I just love it. You know, I would buy a cookbook from like a Vietnamese cookbook, and you can ask Lindsay and the kids. Like it's like, can we have something other than Vietnamese food this week? You know,
you're like the spaghetti with Vietnamese food.
Then I buy a cookbook featuring the foods of Burma, and then it would just be like, so it's just cooking my way through all these different cuisines and just loving all the flavors that they have to offer. And then, you know, hitting the international quarter on Decker Boulevard, and then here in the Vista, you've got 929 Kitchen and Khao Thai, and I mean, you've got, you know, really good Asian restaurants. So I mean, there's kind of an Asian explosion going on right now, kind of like K-pop, but there's room for all of us. And like I said, for us, we're blurring the boundaries between a lot of them and just kind of playing with all the flavors.
Well, I love it. It seems like all of your places have a theme. They're cozy, they're dark, they're mysterious. They're small, and they're perfect. You know, a lot of people like that feel, you know, just to come to a bar, nice, and just be able to feel comfortable in that space. And I know that's always been your goal.
Well, you'll notice that the bar top here is very narrow.
Yes.
And the reason for that is because I want the interaction between the bartender and the customer to be much closer. A lot of bars you see nowadays in some restaurants are 24, 30 inches deep, to where the bartender can barely
have to reach over to serve you.
Which I don't. And if you were to go to an izakaya in Japan, I mean, sometimes the bars are
very small.
8 inches, 10 inches, you know, enough for you to put a glass on, and they put little tiny plates so that, and they're crammed into a space literally in the area we're sitting right now, not this big. So I made a conscious effort to make the bar very narrow so that the interaction between our bartenders and the customer is much more intimate.
It has been a pleasure speaking with you today. I'm just excited to just sit here and have coffee and conversation with you about who you are and your restaurants and how everything comes about. Now, before we end, I always ask people, what would you say to that younger young man when he was opening up Mr. Friendly's at the time?
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, we'll start there.
Yeah, if I could talk to that guy, tell him stop. Don't be a control freak, and lighten up. That guy was pretty tightly wound. Yeah, I'll never forget my sister telling me that when I would come home to Minnesota, like, my nephews would almost be scared to approach me because she said that I just exuded, like, just stress. Yeah, in 2000 the year 2000 that changed, and I became much more chill.
You know, it's interesting you say that because I know that was supposed to be my last question.
Yeah.
But
oh my God, bonus round.
Bonus round. But when you said 2020, you know, I think that changed a lot of you. It changed me. You know,
I would say 2000.
2000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Year 2000, everything changed.
What happened?
I lost a child.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we lost our child, and that was an eye opener that really kind of just flipped my life from being stressed out and to much more. When you have some sort of life-altering event like that happen, it makes you kind of assess what you do have, and it literally just changed everything. So I became a lot more empathetic, a lot more. I learned how to delegate so I could spend time at home. It just changed everything. So so those first 5-6 years of, if I could talk to that guy, I would tell him to just lighten up.
Wow. Well, you know what? It has been a pleasure speaking with you, and I think that it's always a good path that you're on when you're able to turn any failure or into triumph, into future successes, and tragedy turn it into a triumph. And you seem to have done that successfully throughout the course of your life, and I'm sure you're.
Like I said, I made a lot of mistakes.
We know a lot of mistakes.
Very expensive mistakes.
Yes. Well, we hopefully we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
And we know that you will always consider those mistakes and go forward in a different way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a choice.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Coffee with Kristian Niemi. I'm Amanda Cooper with Cola Daily. Thank you for watching.